Hello, my name is Eric Malmgren Samuel from Philly, PA. So here's a lesson for week 1 of Introduction to Music Production at Coursera on polar patterns and stereo recording with mid-side miking. So what sets mid-side technique apart from other stereo methods? Well, the mid-side technique is a very useful way to record a stereo image of a sound source because it allows the mix artist to avoid phase cancellation completely by using one microphone for stereo imaging, unlike other stereo methods that use two, and it allows the mix artist to easily control the amount of stereo spread in the recording, allowing anywhere from a lot to none at all. And this combination of features makes mid-side recording uniquely versatile and very safe. First, let's discuss the two mics you'll need, a mid mic and a side mic. The two mics in the mid-side technique must have different and specific polar patterns. The mid mic must be a cardioid, and the side mic must be a figure 8. Other stereo techniques usually employ matched cardioids of the same make and model, but in the mid-side technique, the microphones can be from completely different manufacturers as long as one is a cardioid and the other is a figure 8. To set them up, position the mid mic facing the sound source directly, and then position the side mic as close to the mid as possible, but with the axis of the figure 8 perpendicular to the mid mic's axis. So the two ends of the figure 8 are pointing 90 degrees away from the sound source's center. You're seeing how I mic'd my vibraphones. So what is this stereo image we're trying to record? Well, the term stereo image refers to an audio recording that captures the spatial differences in amplitude or volume from the left to the right of the sound source as one would perceive them if they were standing where the mics were. So in simple terms, if you were to see an instrument on the right of the stage, the sound would be louder in the right side of the mix and vice versa. So what is phase cancellation and why do other methods have this? Well, other methods such as XY and the space pair can suffer from phase cancellation problems because these methods only use two mono tracks from a pair of mics to mix stereo, and they are never truly synced in time with regard to the sound source. So phase cancellation is when the same sound source arrives at two mics at different times, and the slight difference in the sound wave's arrival creates cancellation that alters the recorded sound when the two mics are mixed into stereo. This doesn't happen with mid-side because of the stereo image coming from only a single mic. So how is stereo handled by your DAW or mixer, and how does the mid-side method generate a stereo recording? Well, the single stereo track from a mid-side recording is created by mixing 3 mono tracks, 1 from the mid and 2 from the side. Other stereo techniques use only 2 mics and mix the stereo from only 2 mono tracks, 1 from each mic. So the mid-side technique is different in that it uses 2 mics, but it uses 3 mono tracks to create 1 stereo track, because the side mic creates 2 mono tracks to give a stereo image, and this is due to the figure 8 polar pattern of the side mic. So remember that a figure 8 is kind of like 2 cardioids at the same time, because it picks up whatever is in front of the mic and whatever is in the back at the same time equally. Unlike an omnidirectional mic, a figure 8 is most sensitive to sounds coming from exact opposite directions, instead of universally sensitive all around. The key to the mid-side technique's power over the stereo image is the polar pattern of a figure 8 microphone. The figure 8 mic sends out a mono signal like any other, but because it picks up 2 directions at once, and one end of the 8 is a positive side and the other is a negative, we can use a little trick in the studio to create 2 tracks where one is biased toward sound from one side and the other is biased toward the other side. All you have to do is double the track after you record it, reverse the polarity of the copy, and hard pan these 2 mono tracks in opposite directions. This means that one of the tracks represents one side and the other track represents the other side. If you don't reverse the polarity, you will not be able to separate the sides with panning, so that part is very important. Remember, one track is positive and hard panned to one side and the other negative and hard panned oppositely. Then you send the mid mic panned center with the 2 mono side mic tracks to an aux, and route this new single stereo track to record your final stereo recording. You can bring the sliders on the side tracks up and down before you record to hear the stereo image increasing and decreasing, and you can decide on just how much you want. If you ever want to convert the stereo track that you recorded back to a mono for any reason, you will get mathematically perfect phase cancellation, giving you a clean mono track with no distortion to the sound. Well, that's it, and I really look forward to hearing your assessments, and I hope that you all have fun